Today I'm be showing you how to play JD. Gonna be going over questions like when to use your ultimate, what enemies should be prioritized, we get out of Baird's way, how aggressively should I play, ammo concerns in early waves, what are the best weapons to use, what cards should I equip, and how should I upgrade my perks. It is nice when you can get a retro with JD, because he does get that Lancer bonus with the retro. So as far as when to use your ultimate, he's pretty much the boss killer, and with spotter support, guardians, sentinels, if you get a problem boom shot that you can't take out. Otherwise, your ultimate should be pretty reserved. He has a fairly long cooldown period. So as you saw, I took that retro, and going over what are the best weapons to use as JD. Without a doubt, it is the GL. He should be mainly used on GL maps. But when you can get the retro early, it is pretty sweet. Retro can retro charge, does more damage, and it can get headshots. Biggest bonus of the retro is the ability to pop heads. But after that, then it's the boom shot and GL. But I mean, you can also have in your locker until you get set up torque bows and drop shots. Salvo too. Salvo is actually an excellent weapon to grab if you do have robots in the first 10 waves. See, it's round 4, and I've yet to fire one boom shot. You don't need to waste all your boom shots early. There is also a trick where if you have one boom shot remaining and you trade somebody, then they drop that weapon and you pick it up, it gives you 2. If you have 2 when you do this, you get 4, and if you have 3 when you do it, you will get 6. Well, if you have 3, 4, or 5, you will get 6. Yeah, Bob, it's crazy. As you'll notice, this is a master's game. While the best weapon to use with him is the GL, you're not going to be able to afford a GL right away. So JD is a heavy hitter with his explosive bleed. So the enemies that should be prioritized with explosives are the enemies that are the most deadly. I mean, let Foz, you gotta Foz go for opening shots on Scions if possible. But for the most part, you're targeting whatever you can that seems to be the biggest threat at the moment. So as far as how aggressively should you play, he has no health bonuses or defense bonuses. And he's very good with like the GL, boom shot, and pop shot. So for the most part, there's no need to really play aggressively when you can do this. I think a good time to buy your first GL is on the first boss wave. Very good to potentially get 2 death from above. With the GL, always go for the active when possible, as it significantly increases the grenade damage. You want to shoot in front of targets that are moving forward. Some things will prohibit where you can place the GL, but you'll get the hang of it fairly quickly. As you can see, it's wave 14. I've still only used my ability once on the boss on the Snatcher. It is mainly reserved to kill bosses. The JD is very useful with the pop shot GL. You don't have to stay out of cover for too long. You can actually literally just quickly pop it. Personally, I think you should have 3 GLs and 2 boom shots. I think that's his ideal setup, which you should have somewhere by about wave 20-ish. To get your second boom shot just by incendiary grenades. Kill yourself at the end of the wave, just make sure all your weapons are back on a locker. Shooting a Guardian or a Sentinel with your death from above will take its shield. Now, once you take its shield, Your Lancer is actually highly effective at doing damage in the crit spot. Killing yourself at the end of the wave is ideal, but sometimes it's hard to do. If you are going to kill yourself any other time, make sure it's right at the beginning of the wave. Doesn't matter that your boom shot is going to come up short on ammo. What really matters is that you have two. You should be able to get away with mainly rotating the GL, but having that boom shot in reserve is really nice, especially for Bastion waves. Shooting a Bastion shield, especially with an active, will bleed out the Bastion. Remember, an active on your GL is difference between night and day in damage between a non-active. It'll do like almost 2x damage. When you're fighting Guardians, wait for them to sit still. Trying to hit them while they're moving just doesn't work out. Now if you want to slow down an enemy too, say you got a pressing enemy, you shoot with the GL, and then you'll fire some Lancer bullets at them, and they're much more likely to get hit by more GL shots. Pretty good idea on boss waves or highways, if possible, to go grab that 6 GL shot. Very unlikely that you'll have 6 shots on the recharge of the locker. Most often you'll have 5. Seems a little laggy. Oh, it did let me land the active. Another good weapon for JD, as I said before, is the salvo, but I feel like if you're using the salvo, you might as well be playing Keegan. JD really accelerates with the GL. But if you do get salvos in the first 10 waves, it's an excellent weapon to have. Even if you're just burning a couple shots, not using it on a locker. Try not to buy weapons when the scoreboard is on the screen, because if you buy weapons at that point in time, you can lose the weapon and just never receive it, but you'll also spend the cash. Salvo can be highly effective, but it does leave you vulnerable, because you're a lot more exposed than pop-shotting the GL. On later waves, you'll probably go down a lot more often using the salvo than you will the GL, especially if you can fire quickly with it. So on to how to upgrade your perks. Only 2 perks for JD are worth it. Assault rifle damage for the GL and cooldown to get your death from above quicker for bosses and just in general. You can easily get 4 or 5 death from aboves in one wave once they're high up. I upped my cooldown a little bit just because it was cheap and I didn't have enough money to put an extra point in my damage, but going to 10 to damage first, it's a good strategy. The more damage you do, the more cooldown you'll get, so you can easily go to damage 10 before getting your cooldown up. But in any case, you're not going to be upgrading ammo regen for any reason. And critical, you don't really need to do. I'd rather have an extra sentry or give money to somebody else that can use a perk more than having a little bit extra critical damage. Critical damage does no longer affect the bleed. The only thing critical damage is going to do for you is help you with your bullet damage GL, because I don't feel that JD should be primarily relying on the boom shot. He should be primarily relying on the GL, and he's more for crowd control, taking out one spawn and helping when one barrier or one area gets flooded with enemies, dropping a GL or death from above in that area. Boom shot is really to pick off enemies, and when you run out of GL shots but you need something before you can get more. Why I do recommend 3 GLs and 2 boom shots. Generally, you'll have enough boom shots. Once in a while, you'll be a little low and not have 4 to 6 in the start of a wave. But for the most part, you should be fine. Especially if you got a team doing high damage. See how I quickly switched right off the boom shot? Shouldn't be relying on your boom shot. In the first few waves, it also is an excellent strategy to just die a few times and get a locker boom shot. But if you spam boom shots, you're quickly gonna realize that the next boom shot you pick up only has like 2 or 3 in it. JD is also excellent with a team that does mark. Like, see if who's marked the other sentinel. Where is the other one? Guess I'm just gonna hit one. JD will actually do more damage on a spotter death from above from a teammate's mark than he will on his own mark. Well, it's only actually if your card is level 5 or level 6. But on a level 5 or level 6 spotter support, he'll do more damage than on a teammate than on his own mark. As you can see, I did go to 10 on damage before going up any more on my cooldown. And now I will up my cooldown to 10. That was last wave. I'm tired. When you have your GL out, but you have no shot, you can switch to your secondary weapon to cancel it out. Much better than wasting a GL shot. So starting to upgrade perks on wave 20 and still depositing a couple thousand to the fabricator. I got 10 and 10 by wave 35, which allows me to get constant death from above. As you can see right there, just the damage off the death from above and that one GL shot, I already almost have my death from above again. Even as nerfed as JD is, because he's so playable for the beginning of the game, and his death from above can take out the hardest targets fairly easy late game. Plus, since he only needs 2 perks to max out, he actually is still quite playable. Another little trick is to pre-active your GL at the start of waves. Always good to swap out to a new GL quickly, and that way you'll have time to get inactive on your GL. So before using your death from above or on the beginning of waves, it's a great idea to pre-active your GL. That way you can do immense damage quickly and get another death from above. Can't tell if that snatcher is marked. Oh. Using the GL as cover when people go down and somebody tries to revive them is another highly effective way to use it. Granted, doing that you will burn through a couple of shots, but well worth the ammo. Oh, nice stumps. I got one mark. Okay. I should have marked that. Tier 1. Oh, I knew that. Thought I was gonna be able to beat that sniper. You can kill yourself with the death from above. I knew I was going to kill myself, but that pouncer was more of a problem. So I do highly recommend this card setup. Obviously, you're going to play JD, you're running explosives, so Razor Hail is a guarantee. Launcher capacity. You need more explosives. I feel the custom boom shot is another lock now that you start with the boom shot, and you very well might be forced to create a locker of boom shots in the beginning before you can get a GL, or at least have 3 boom shots and 1 GL. Because this card is 60% at level 6, 40% at level 4, assuming you have a 3 or a 4 or whatever. Plus he gets 50% on the damage perk, and all you're going to really buy is the damage and the cooldown. He can get up to 110% extra damage on the GL with 30% extra active damage, as you saw how much damage he can do. And I don't know why I have good kill. That wasn't even on. No, I had spotter support on. And spotter support should be his 5th card. This way, multiple targets can be marked and you can kill off other people's marks, especially when somebody else is having a problem and goes down, and like you have a boom shot already marked on the other side of the map. You can just def from above it. You can def from above and do more damage on level 5 and level 6, as I said, as a standard artillery drops 5 artillery rounds. A spotter support artillery at level 5 drops 6 rounds, and a spotter support artillery strike at level 6 drops 7 rounds. So he's more effective with his artillery strikes on marks with a high level spotter support. Whether your card is low or high, if you're playing with a good team, and good teams will mark the more deadly enemies and the more problem enemies at the moment, high value targets, spotter support is definitely a must to have on. I don't really think there's any wiggle room in his top 5, except if you're doing maybe some custom speed run or something like that, maybe swapping one out. But other than that, that's pretty much a lock for him. And I'll show you his cards for new characters. Well, obviously, you could start off with Officer's Prerogative is a very strong beginner card. At level 3, I would put on the Lancer GL. Level 5, I would throw on the Launcher Mastery. Level 7, add the Custom GL. Then add Custom Boom Shot. And you're basically going into the top 5 after that. And that is how you can play JD. I hope that helps.